10 Stoic Lessons to Handle Disrespect. Must watch Stoicism. Welcome. If you're someone who's experienced the ups and downs of life, you've probably faced moments where people have disrespected you. It's frustrating, and it's easy to react emotionally. But what if I told you there's a way to handle disrespect with calm and wisdom, a way that can lead to personal growth and peace of mind? Today, we're diving into ancient Stoic principles that can transform the way you deal with life's challenges, especially when it comes to the disrespect we sometimes face. Stick with me, and let's explore how these timeless lessons can help you live a more peaceful, balanced, and fulfilling life, no matter what others throw your way. Lesson 1. Keep your calm. In life, we all encounter disrespect at some point. It's unavoidable, but how we respond to it makes all the difference. One of the core teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, is that our emotions aren't directly influenced by external events. Instead, they are shaped by how we perceive and interpret those events. In other words, it's not the disrespectful behavior that upsets us, it's the way we choose to view and react to it. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. This profound statement teaches us that the control we have over our emotions comes from our ability to control how we interpret the situations around us. When someone disrespects us, it's easy to let anger, frustration, or hurt take over, but the Stoic approach challenges us to take a step back and reconsider. Instead of allowing disrespect to dictate our emotional response, Stoicism encourages us to see it for what it truly is, a reflection of the other person's thoughts, feelings, and state of mind. It's not a direct attack on our worth or value. This shift in perspective helps us remain calm, composed, and in control. By keeping your calm, you avoid reacting impulsively and allow yourself a space to make rational decisions. This approach not only protects your emotional well-being, but it also prevents a situation from escalating further. The key takeaway here is simple. Your emotional peace doesn't depend on the actions of others, but on your own ability to control your reactions. So, the next time you're faced with disrespect, remember, the power to stay calm is within you. Lesson 2. Reflect on yourself. When we face disrespect, it's easy to feel hurt or angry, but Stoicism teaches us an important lesson. Before reacting, we should first take a moment to reflect on ourselves. In those moments of frustration, we should ask ourselves, did I do or say anything that could have provoked this disrespect? Is there any truth in what the person said? Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools in Stoic philosophy. By pausing to consider our own actions and words, we gain a clearer understanding of the situation. It's not about blaming ourselves, but about looking at the interaction from a balanced perspective. Sometimes, the disrespect we experience might be rooted in our own behavior, and recognizing that can help us grow. It's also important to remember that not everything others say is meant to hurt us. When we reflect, we might realize that some of the criticism or disrespect we receive has a grain of truth. It doesn't mean we have to accept it fully, but by acknowledging it, we open ourselves up to personal growth and improvement. This process of reflection helps us stay calm and avoid reacting impulsively. Rather than letting anger or defensiveness take over, we can respond thoughtfully and with greater wisdom. The Stoic approach encourages us to separate our emotions from the situation at hand, focusing instead on how we can improve ourselves and our reactions. By practicing self-reflection, we learn not only how to handle disrespect better, but also how to become the best versions of ourselves. It's a tool that fosters personal growth, self-awareness, and emotional control. The next time you face disrespect, take a moment to reflect on the situation and use that insight to guide your response with clarity and composure. Lesson 3. Learn to pause. One of the most valuable lessons from Stoicism is the power of the pause. In the heat of the moment, when someone disrespects us, our immediate instinct may be to react. But Stoic wisdom teaches us that before we do anything, we should take a moment to pause and reflect. Pausing before reacting gives us the opportunity to regain control of our emotions and think clearly about how we want to respond. Think about it. How many times have we reacted impulsively, only to regret it later? Whether it's snapping back at someone or letting anger take over, those quick reactions often make things worse. Stoicism encourages us to resist those knee-jerk responses and instead take a deep breath, step back, and give ourselves the space to make a rational decision. The pause is not just about stopping ourselves from reacting emotionally, it's about creating a space between stimulus and response. In that moment of stillness, we have the power to choose how we want to act. We can choose to respond with wisdom, calm, and dignity, rather than letting our emotions dictate our actions. By practicing this pause, we can maintain emotional control, even in the face of disrespect. It's a simple yet powerful technique that helps us align our actions with our values and Stoic principles. The more we practice pausing before reacting, the more we can keep our composure, avoid unnecessary conflict, and handle challenging situations with grace. So, the next time you're faced with disrespect, remember, pause before you react. Give yourself time to think, and then respond thoughtfully. This simple act can make all the difference in maintaining your peace of mind and responding in a way that reflects your true character. Lesson 4. Practice empathy. When someone disrespects us, it's easy to react with anger or frustration. However, one of the most powerful tools we can use in these situations is empathy. Stoicism encourages us to try to understand the other person's perspective, to see the situation through their eyes. Instead of focusing solely on how their behavior affects us, we should pause and consider why they might be acting this way. Often, disrespect comes from a deeper place. Perhaps it stems from their own insecurities, fears, or unresolved issues. Maybe they're going through something difficult in their own life that has nothing to do with us. Understanding this can shift how we respond. Instead of taking their behavior personally, we can recognize that their actions are a reflection of their own struggles, not a direct attack on us. Empathy allows us to step outside of our own emotions and view the situation with more compassion. When we practice empathy, we can reduce our negative feelings and avoid escalating the situation. By seeing the bigger picture, we realize that disrespect may not be as personal or intentional as it seems. This understanding gives us the emotional distance to respond in a more thoughtful and calm manner. Rather than getting defensive or retaliating, empathy helps us remain composed and respond with kindness, dignity, and respect. It allows us to maintain our integrity and avoid being drawn into unnecessary conflict. So, the next time you face disrespect, take a moment to practice empathy. Try to understand what might be motivating the other person's behavior. This shift in perspective can not only help you feel less hurt or upset, but it can also lead to a more positive and peaceful interaction. Empathy truly is a Stoic tool that helps us grow, both as individuals and in our relationships with others. Lesson 5. Focus on virtue. When we face disrespect, it's easy to get caught up in our emotions. Anger, frustration, and hurt can quickly take control of our reactions. However, Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson. Don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Instead, focus on acting with wisdom and integrity, no matter what the situation may be. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said that virtue is nothing else than right reason. What he meant was that true virtue comes from using reason to guide our actions, rather than being led by fleeting emotions. When we focus on virtue, we align ourselves with our highest principles, choosing to act from a place of wisdom, fairness, and courage. In doing so, we maintain our dignity, no matter how others behave. By focusing on virtue, we keep our emotional responses in check. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but rather about responding in a way that reflects our values and ideals. If someone disrespects us, we have the choice to react with anger or to rise above the situation and maintain our integrity. Stoicism encourages us to choose the latter. When we focus on acting with wisdom, we are able to make decisions that reflect our true character. We don't react impulsively or emotionally, but instead, we respond in a way that shows strength and self-control. This approach not only helps us maintain our dignity, but also enables us to rise above negativity and stay true to who we are. So, the next time you face disrespect, remember to focus on virtue. Think about how you want to respond, not based on how you feel in the moment, but on the values you want to uphold. By doing this, you will find a sense of calm and strength that allows you to handle any situation with grace and respect. Lesson 6. Embrace acceptance. One of the most freeing lessons from Stoicism is the power of acceptance. When we face disrespect, it's natural to feel upset, but Stoicism teaches us to accept that disrespect is beyond our control. We cannot control other people's behavior, nor can we force them to treat us with respect. What we can control is how we respond to it. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, a principle known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. There are external events and actions of others that lie outside our influence, like someone's disrespectful behavior. However, our thoughts, feelings, and reactions are within our control. By focusing on what we can change, our own responses, we can maintain peace of mind and avoid unnecessary emotional turmoil. When we embrace acceptance, we stop wasting energy on things that we cannot change. We stop trying to control how others behave, and instead, we focus on how we can manage our own emotions and actions. This mindset allows us to accept disrespect as something that is part of life, something we can face without letting it disrupt our inner peace. Acceptance doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment or ignoring our worth. It means recognizing that we cannot always control others, but we can always control our own reactions. By accepting that disrespect is sometimes inevitable, we free ourselves from the frustration that comes from trying to change things that are beyond our reach. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, remember, you have the power to control your own response. Embrace acceptance, focus on what's within your control, and maintain your calm. This will help you stay centered, respond wisely, and live with greater peace and resilience. Lesson 7. Use humor. Humor is one of the most underrated tools we can use to handle difficult situations, especially when faced with disrespect. Stoicism doesn't just teach us to stay serious and composed. It also recognizes the value of humor in maintaining emotional balance. A well-timed joke or witty remark can help diffuse tension and prevent a negative situation from escalating further. When someone disrespects us, it's easy to get angry or defensive, but humor provides a different approach. Instead of responding with frustration or bitterness, a light-hearted comment can shift the atmosphere and break the tension. It allows us to stay calm and composed, while also showing that we're not letting the disrespect get to us. Humor helps us regain control of the situation without sacrificing our dignity. Of course, humor should be used wisely. It's important to gauge the situation and ensure that our humor doesn't come off as dismissive or sarcastic. The goal isn't to mock or belittle the other person, but rather to lighten the mood and show that we're not overwhelmed by the disrespect. A playful remark, if done in the right way, can help both parties step back and view the situation from a more relaxed perspective. Using humor also reflects Stoic resilience, our ability to stay steady in the face of challenges. By choosing to respond with humor, we demonstrate emotional control and the ability to rise above negativity. It's a sign that we're not letting others' behavior dictate our mood or peace of mind. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, consider using humor as a way to handle the situation. A well-timed joke can diffuse tension, help you maintain emotional balance, and keep the situation from spiraling out of control. Just remember to use humor in moderation and keep it respectful. Lesson 8. Set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most important ways to protect yourself from disrespect. Stoicism teaches us to respect ourselves and demand that respect from others, not through anger or aggression, but through calmness and assertiveness. When someone disrespects us, we don't have to tolerate it or let it slide. Instead, we can respond in a way that reflects our self-worth and values. The key is to remain calm while asserting our boundaries. Responding with a steady, clear, and confident voice helps to communicate that we expect to be treated with dignity. It's important to let the other person know what behavior is unacceptable without becoming defensive or hostile. By setting these boundaries, we're not only standing up for ourselves, but also teaching others how to treat us. Being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational. It's about clearly expressing what you will and will not accept in a way that is firm yet respectful. You can calmly tell someone, I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. I expect to be treated with respect. This simple act of setting boundaries shows that you value yourself and that you won't allow others to cross that line. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and emotional well-being. When we set boundaries, we take control of the situation and stop others from negatively affecting us. It also protects our peace of mind, as we no longer feel the need to react emotionally to disrespect. So, the next time someone disrespects you, take a deep breath, stay calm, and assertively establish your boundaries. By doing this, you not only protect yourself, but also encourage others to treat you with the respect you deserve. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-respect and emotional strength. Lesson 9. Choose forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools we have to maintain peace and emotional health. When we are disrespected, it's easy to hold on to anger or resentment, but Stoicism teaches us that forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's behavior. It's about finding peace for ourselves. It's important to remember that forgiveness is for your peace, not for the other person. Holding on to negative emotions like anger and resentment can weigh us down, affecting our mental and physical well-being. These emotions often keep us tied to the past, preventing us from moving forward. Forgiveness, however, frees us from that burden. By choosing to forgive, we release the hold of the offenses on us and allow ourselves to heal. Forgiveness doesn't mean that we forget the disrespect or approve of it. Rather, it means that we are choosing to let go of the emotional pain associated with it. It's an act of self-care and emotional resilience. When we forgive, we stop allowing the actions of others to control our emotions or dictate our mood. We regain control of our own feelings and decide to move forward with peace. In addition to releasing negative emotions, forgiveness fosters personal growth. It allows us to develop emotional maturity, compassion, and understanding. Instead of letting anger cloud our judgment, we learn to approach challenging situations with grace and wisdom. By forgiving, we also create space for positive energy and growth in our lives. So, the next time you face disrespect, consider the power of forgiveness. Let go of any resentment and choose peace over negativity. By doing so, you free yourself from the emotional weight and cultivate a stronger, more peaceful mindset that leads to personal growth and inner tranquility. Lesson 10. Change your perspective. One of the most valuable lessons Stoicism teaches is the power of perspective. When we face disrespect, it's easy to get caught up in the moment, allowing the situation to overwhelm us. However, learning to see things from a broader viewpoint can change everything. Disrespect, while hurtful in the moment, is often temporary and insignificant when viewed in the grand scheme of life. Stoic philosophy encourages us to step back and look at the bigger picture. In those moments of tension, ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? Will it have a lasting impact on my happiness or well-being? Most of the time, the answer is no. When we shift our perspective, we realize that disrespect, though uncomfortable, is just a small blip in the grand journey of life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, our life is what our thoughts make it. This powerful idea highlights how much control we have over our experiences. Our emotional reactions, especially to disrespect, are shaped by how we choose to think about them. If we view the situation through the lens of perspective, we see that it doesn't define us or our worth. Changing your perspective helps you keep calm and not get bogged down by temporary challenges. It reminds you that what really matters is how you respond, not the actions of others. Instead of focusing on the disrespect, focus on your values, goals, and the things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. So, the next time you face disrespect, practice changing your perspective. Take a step back, see the situation for what it truly is, and remind yourself that it's just a passing moment in your life. By doing this, you can maintain your peace of mind and avoid letting the actions of others dictate your happiness. Outro. As we wrap up today's lesson, remember that perspective is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Disrespect may sting in the moment, but when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, you'll see that it's often temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of your life. By shifting your focus, you regain control of your emotions and your peace of mind. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, our life is what our thoughts make it. So, the next time you encounter disrespect, change your perspective. See it for what it is, let it go, and keep your focus on what truly matters in your life. Thanks for joining me today. Stay strong, stay stoic, and remember, the power to choose your response is always in your hands.